Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw News Brief.
News Brief.
We're going to try to keep this brief today, Larson.
Every time, man.
What's the news? Sometimes we keep it brief. Sometimes we go a little bit long.
We don't. All right, first up, one of the major stories coming out of TLC last night was the health and well-being of Kairi Sane. So during the main event, it seemed at a point she got her bell rung.
Yeah.
Possibly concussed. So, you know, we were concerned about her well-being. We haven't heard anything officially from WB yet about whatever injury she might have suffered. However, Tom Calahoo posted on Twitter, quote, hearing good news about Kairi Sane's condition this morning. I'm being told she, quote, wasn't there during checkup, but she's recovering well. At this point, not cleared to wrestle pending a full assessment, but she seems tearful enough, if disappointed, with herself. So a lot of people have been going through the match trying to find the moment where she may have hurt herself. A lot of people point to the suplex against the barricade by Charlotte. Some people may have thought it was the powerbomb through the table. But then we were talking about it this morning. Did you get a lead on this? As far as like where you heard that might have been the case?
Twitter.
Okay, that's fine. Where she does a move off the top rope when she put Charlotte and Becky on the table. Charlotte rolls off. She hits Becky, and we just watched that this morning. And it looks like her head could have hit Becky in the shoulder.
So it's funny because there's been more stuff debunked than debunked,
yeah.
I guess. So, for example, somebody had mentioned that there was a possibility that Charlotte had chucked a monitor at her head.
And there's another angle that's not even close.
Right. And on top of that, those monitors are super light.
They are. I mean, I guess
really
in theory, if you really throw it hard in the right place,
and even like when you see the network feed of it, like the little GIF, like it clearly doesn't hit it. Like it's towards the bottom of the frame, but it doesn't hit it. So that was debunked. I know somebody. It was fairly high up there.
There's the suplex against the barricade.
I mean, I guess, but like that's not really much. There, yeah. The one that I saw on Twitter, and I'll find it at some point. Okay, so who is this? What is this? It was this one. At Life's Not Flair had sort of a video breakdown, and it actually makes a lot of sense. And then when you watch it back on the network and see the sequence of events afterwards, because she's moving fine before this, she gets up to the top, to the apron, to the corner. She has Becky on a table. She comes down and kind of lands on Becky. Now the camera angle is too quick to see exactly if her head snaps back, if her head hits anything, because it kind of goes down and then back up. But then it follows Kairi, and she is clear. And granted, she's really good at selling. She's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, she's got rubber legs here.
I'm not sure at this point according to the story, if she's supposed to pop back up necessarily and keep on beating on Becky, but she does her best to get back up and bring Becky down and start beating her up.
Yeah, but
it is so slow and out of it.
I mean, you see Kairi punch.
Yeah,
this is like half of that.
She has a hard time lifting her arm up.
Yeah, and we watched this bit this morning. Granted, the angle's at the best, but it looks like to me that she probably hit her head right on Becky's shoulder.
I would think so. Or, on the table, I don't know, maybe the elbow.
And she gets up from that, and you can tell she's just not herself.
And it was pretty quickly after this. So she crawls around the corner, and that's when she meets Charlotte for that really nasty spear. And
right here, the ref is down talking to her.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, and I know it's in the heat of the moment, but Jack Daddy should have gone to Charlotte and said, hey, Ixnay on the power bomb bay.
Yeah. Somebody
should have said, don't do that power bomb. Because even Becky is sort of chatting up the refs at this point.
Yeah.
And, I mean, God love Becky. She basically, it seemed like on the fly, she rebooked the finish of this match.
Yeah.
And it's still, look, it was a mess. The match was a mess. But I firmly believe if Kairi Sane, I saw some takes out there saying, oh, they shouldn't have put this main event on. This looked bad on paper. I'm sorry, on paper this match looked terrific.
Yeah,
it really did.
The first 2/3 of it were a lot of fun, and if Kairi hadn't gotten hurt, who knows what the finish of the match or how it would have played out. I think the finish of the match was the finish of the match. I think that was the exact same.
Yeah, because it was very specific with the rope and the ladder and stuff like that.
But where things kind of after that spear powerbomb spot after Kairi obviously got hurt, it seems like it took the path to that finish.
I think
obviously had to be changed.
I think it changed. Yeah.
And when you have to call stuff on the fly, doubly so when he has to call stuff on the fly to protect somebody.
Yeah.
If they got got a concussion or some sort of head injury, that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
And at that moment, first and foremost, your priority is not necessarily it's getting to the end of the match while make sure no one gets hurt worse.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And if in the process the story's being told, so be it. But first and foremost, they got to get the match done without hurting anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And so if the match suffered because they were trying to protect Kairi, I'll take that deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
We don't want to see anybody out there. They put their bodies on the line enough.
Yeah.
Doing matches. I don't want to see anybody out there already concussed, trying to do too much or being put in a position where they have to do too much and hurt themselves even worse or hurt someone else.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I'll use as an example, Goldberg versus Undertaker. After Goldberg ran head first into that ring post.
They should have done something, though.
He had no business trying to get him up for a jackhammer. He about dropped him on his head.
I know.
That could have went really bad.
That could have gone really bad, I know. So yeah, it's good that according to Tom Collahue, anyways, she's
on the mend. Hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully, there's grades of concussions, and hopefully hers isn't terribly severe, and a few weeks off, and she'll be.
And
all
you can
good.
tell, dude, even afterwards, like Charlotte, Becky, and Asuka all were singing Kairi's praises, saying things, and it's like when they're doing that, that something doesn't happen right there, and things change. So I think like criticizing the match based on what we saw last night, I think is completely unfair.
Yeah.
It was kind of a busy, like even without TLC, it was a pretty busy wrestling weekend.
It was
in the non-WWE world. Marty Scurll shocked the wrestling world and showed up in the NWA.
Yeah, if you were to power rank places, he
fire.
would show up. I don't suspect anybody would put NWA high on the list. So there's been a lot of speculation about Marty was going to go. People assume Ring of Honor, except for Rovert, Ring of Honor contract is over. He's out of there. He's out of there. So he had his, like the idea.
He's still a champion there, though.
I know he's a six-man tag champion. He won the main event in the last round of TV taping. Spoiler alert, sorry, but it's relevant to what we're going to talk about.
He's staying there, man. I go all in on Twitter user Rovert. Anyways, go ahead.
I don't know about the track record so much. Anyway, so his contract expired. It was assumed his last show with the company, I think, was Friday or something like that.
Right.
Well, I guess he had a match. Final Battle was Friday.
Pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah. And then Saturday, he shows up at the end of Into the Fire to do a stare down with Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
So you think setting up something there.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, Marty NWA, I guess it's cool, but kind of surprising nonetheless. And then he's on the TV tapings on Sunday for Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And then he's going to appear on Power tomorrow on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I guess
it's like a Rick Rude situation.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, also, I believe I got this from the Twitter Rovert account that Ring of Honor has actually mentioned the NWA title a couple times.
Aldis had some title defenses in Ring of Honor, I believe,
on their broadcast.
Yeah,
well, recently also.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, seemingly, if they were at odds in any way, they wouldn't be doing that. But I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. All we know at this point is that he's a free agent. You would suspect that if his contract ran out November 30th, which seems to be the date that everybody's pointing at, if he had intentions to go somewhere else, he would be going somewhere else, or at the very least, not showing up again in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak to his wants, desires, where he wants to take his career. Remember when he joined Bullet Club?
Yes.
And prior to that, his star was on the rise.
Big time.
He was really making a name for himself in independent ranks. And then when he joined Bullet Club, it kind of seemed like almost like he took a step back. Because instead of being the star, the focal point of what he was doing, he was a member of the group. He was on being the elite. And while the villain character, there's humorous aspects to it, it's not a humorous character. And then once he kind of joined the elite, it seemed like he was doing funnier stuff. Yeah. And not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the only thing, one thought that came through my head was maybe, like, we know he's friends with all the elite guys.
Sure.
Maybe in a perfect world, and somewhere down the line, he'll sign with AEW. But maybe right now, granted, Ring of Honor, the perception of them isn't the best. However, maybe he thinks, I haven't watched their show. I don't know what his creative is like with Villain Enterprises. Maybe he just was really enjoying what he's doing right now.
So Ring of Honor right now, it kind of has taken the. I'll say this about Ring of Honor right now. It's obvious that they are in a rebuilding phase. All of the weirdness with if you guys have followed along, there's a lot of weirdness with like Joey Mercury, who I guess was behind the scenes at Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think he was a producer over there.
He was a producer. I'm assuming not anymore because
No.
because he has been tweeting relentlessly a lot of backstage info, private messages, emails.
He's pretty much saying that it's a complete and utter shit show over there.
That it's an actual absolute mess. That being said, they are rebuilding with a terrific young core. They just signed up Bateman. And I believe he beat. I don't want to say it was Shane Taylor, who seems to be on the outs with Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
at this point.
I think his contract.
I forget
got
who
renewed.
Bateman recently pinned, but he's in the company. Maria Manic had a fantastic showing again, where she just demolished Angelina Love.
Yeah.
At that pay-per-view in her ring debut.
Flamita and Ray Horse signed with Ring of Honor.
I think Roosh is expected to re-sign.
See, I was wondering about that because he just showed up, or he's been in AAA for a few shows ever since he left CMLL and just formed a new version of Los Ingobernables in AAA. Given AAA's working relationship with AEW, I was curious if he was going to not re-sign with Ring of Honor so he could do stuff with AEW, but apparently not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, AAA seems to be like the nexus of all wrestling.
Yeah,
now, I mean, apparently they have a deal with WWE to have the Sin Cara name there. We'll talk about that later
in a second,
because they totally don't. Yeah, I mean, Ring of Honor. Look, if they're owned by Sinclair, and I have no idea what the business arrangement is in terms of. Does Sinclair care much about Ring of Honor? Like, how much do they pump into it? They have TV deal. They have, they're on Sinclair Broadcasting, and that's, just expanding.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor might be a very attractive option, especially if they are outbidding NXT and AEW to keep names that they think they can build around. And Marty might be. I mean,
I think he'd be high on that list.
He'd be very high on that list. So it would not surprise me at all if, I mean, like you said, he himself rebranded himself from Party Marty to the villain guy and did it very successfully. Why wouldn't he, in terms of, we have a history of his ability to be like, okay, I'm doing this on my own. I want to build my own thing. I don't want to just join my friends, even though I think there is some really great opportunities there at AEW for him. But it wouldn't surprise me. Hey, I'm going to make more money, the schedule that I want, and I get to basically be the guy, the building block. It's like Sami Callihan and Impact. He said he wants to make Impact a big deal. Wouldn't surprise me if Marty Scurll wants to make Ring of Honor once again a big deal. I think that'd be a very attractive.
It'd be pretty interesting. Now, if he were to challenge Aldis for the NWA title, maybe pick that up. And of course, his stablemate PCO is a Ring of Honor champion. Get a storyline with two of them. Marty 2 belts.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. So that's interesting stuff. Nobody saw that coming, him going to NWA.
No.
But and then they still have, for right now anyways, they still have Jeff Cobb there.
Yeah.
It is kind of surprising that he hasn't risen up the ranks a bit more. I would have seen the title on him before PCO.
Yeah, I would have thought that too.
But maybe PCO is a transitional champion. Who knows? So let's see here. Yeah, we covered all the bases there.
So next, you mentioned Sin Cara earlier. So you guys released WB just last week. Usually when you get your release, there's a 90-day no compete. At least, well, I mean, I guess I don't know if that's necessarily here in the States or if that's worldwide. Nonetheless, Sin Cara, about a week's time, show up at AAA, which is great, at their show on Saturday.
Okay, so
as Sin Cara, using his old WB Titantron, looked like it was downloaded from YouTube. Okay,
so hold on a second. 90-day no compete. I forget. Does that mean you can go in and drop a promo? Was that what was keeping Brett from wrestling when he showed up in WCW and he was just a ref?
No, his contract ended. That was the idea, that his contract was up.
So
once the contract's up, next day you can go someplace.
Okay, because Ambrose's contract was just up.
Yeah. He was not released.
But Sin Cara, Harper, those guys got their release
early from the deal. Because I guess Sin Cara had a couple of years left. Harper had a matter of months. But yeah, if you're released early from your contract, there's a 90-day no-compete. Now, it depends whether... I think part of it is 90-day no-compete on television. Mm-hmm. Like if Harper maybe wanted to go to some little indie show and wrestle there, maybe he could.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just strictly U.S. television or if this is worldwide television. Anyways.
But here's the thing. Because this is AAA, we might be able to assume that none of it really matters.
Yeah.
If he's not allowed to show up. Number one, we know. So this is according to Dave Meltzer. The transcripts via Body Slam. Regarding Sin Cara using that name in AAA last night at Guerra de Titans, there was no deal worked out with him or WWE to be allowed to use the name. He was on a 90-day non-compete. We'll see how this transpires. So we don't really know if he was in violation of a 90-day no-compete. We don't know. Clearly, they're in violation.
Shouldn't be using the Sin Cara
of the Sin Cara. But they don't care, and it's amazing.
I can't remember, and I apologize. I should have noted this. We talked about this. I mentioned to you prior to starting. It's like I wish there was a history thing on Twitter so you can go back to read, like go to the tweets that you actually clicked on and read.
Yeah.
Read. Someone mentioned on Twitter, and I apologize I can't source this. Really, I really do. Two things. One, WB apparently has a trademark for Sin Cara, not just here in the States, but in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Through 2021. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that whoever that posted this made a mention of that AAA doesn't have another show, I think, till January. Mm-hmm. Like they're taking a month off. Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't be surprised if they just did this. I'm paraphrasing. Debuted him at Sin Cara, and then when he shows up next time, repackaged.
Mm-hmm, yeah. That could be. I don't know.
Or at least new name.
But regardless, it's hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah. I love AAA. It's my favorite.
And the original Sin Cara, he's in CMLL, I believe.
I think, yeah. As it's not Mystices. It's
he was Mystico before he went to WWE.
Right,
Sin Cara,
right.
But I think he's got a different name now.
Yeah, but I thought it was similar to Mystices. I thought it was something else, but it was close to that
Mystico
name.
is similar to Mystices.
That is too. But there is a Mystices.
Yeah, in AAA.
But in AAA.
Yeah.
And he's got like a Sin Cara-esque mask.
Kind of, yeah.
And I was like, wait, is that old Sin Cara? And then people corrected me. It was
I don't remember
no, it's Mr. Something else.
I'm sure if I look, I can.
It's going to be on, yeah. It's going to be here. We'll do it right now. Why not?
Yeah, why not? So they just have Hunico as Sin Cara listed here.
Okay.
They don't have actual Mystico. They're missing an S.
Where he was the second longest. Yeah. All right. Anyways, while you look that up, while you do some further research on that, I'm going to hop on here and get this Raw preview just really quick. We'll see if we can. I know AJ versus Randy Orton was announced as one thing
on Raw, and then they tease, and the only thing they have teased on the website is that.
Can Seth Rollins and AOP be stopped? Yeah, I don't. Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's anything in their news bits about.
There we go.
You got something?
Caristico.
There we go.
That's his name.
There we go.
But he was Mystices for a second.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, just one thing. Oh, here we go. Wait, now there's another. Oh, okay. Updated Raw preview.
Wow, they got to work on their.
Following weeks of confrontations, Randy Orton and AJ Styles will battle one-on-one tonight on Raw. Okay. So
there's two things now.
They just added that. That's weird. In the last moment.
And actually did a proper link for it. Cool. Weird.
Right on. Perfect. So yeah, there's your Raw preview, and that's your news brief for today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.